IBM Storage Scale CNSA supports cache volume to cache the content of remote object storage bucket. This feature reduces latency that is associated with repeated access to an object store, allowing frequently accessed bucket contents to be retrieved more quickly from local cache. Based on this, we have four different cache modes. In read only, we use this when application needs to only read from an object store. In parallel, we use this when multiple application needs to both read from and write to an object store. In exclusive, we use this when we need to both read from and write to an object store. And in detached mode is used when application needs to cache from an object store and modify locally cached copy without writing the changes back to the bucket. In cache volume workflow, first we create storage class. Based on that, we create PVC. Then we create secret, which is required to communicate to object store. This has endpoint, bucket, access key, and secret key. Lastly, we create volume attribute class, which is required to add multiple tunable parameters to our cache volume. Once the PVC is created successfully, a cache volume object is created, which is required to manage the AFM cache state. On that, we can download objects from our object store, and also we can evict those objects. Next up, we'll create a cache volume and perform this download and eviction operations. This is IBM Spectrum Scale namespace. These are all the pods that are running in this namespace. And these are all the pods that are running in CSI namespace. This is our object storage. This is the bucket and it has all the objects in it. Now we'll go ahead and create a new project. We'll name our project as AFM cache volume. And the project is created now. We'll go ahead and create a storage class. So from here, we'll create a storage class. We'll edit the YAML. This is the sample YAML and it has secret mentioned as PVC name hyphen secret, which is in PVC namespace. So we'll go ahead and create this storage class. Now we'll create persistent volume claim in the namespace that we just created. So from here, we'll use the same storage class that we just created earlier. We'll mention our PVC name. We'll edit our access mode and the size of the PVC that we want. Here we have created PVC, which is in pending state. So we'll go ahead and check the events. So in the events, we can see that the secret is not present and we are getting error for that. So we'll go ahead and create a secret. This is our secret with endpoint, bucket name, access key, and secret key. So now we can see that the PVC is provisioned successfully. Here also we can see that it has 20 GB of storage. Now we'll check that the cache volume for this PVC is created. Here in our namespace, we can see that the cache volume is created successfully. Now we'll go ahead and we'll create a application pod in our namespace. So this is the sample YAML for the application pod and we'll mention our PVC as the storage that we want to mount. So in the claim name, we'll mention our PVC. And right now the pod is in container creating state. And here we can see that it's running. Now we can SSH into the pod. And we can make sure that the cache volume is mounted. Here, these are all the objects from our object store. If we check inside a particular directory, we can see all the object files are there, but they are not downloaded yet. Now we'll go ahead and we'll create a cache volume operation to download all these files. So here we'll create a sample YAML for our cache volume operation. This is the sample YAML which also required to mention our cache volume. So we'll mention our cache volume here. This is the name and the namespace in which we are creating the cache volume operation. Here we have created our cache volume operation, and in the events we can see that the download operation is initiated, and if we wait for some time we can see that the download is completed successfully. So we'll go ahead in our application pod and we'll make sure that the files are downloaded. Here we can see that all these objects are downloaded. Now we'll go ahead and we'll create a new file from our application pod, and we can see that the file is also synced at our object store. Now we'll go ahead and we'll delete all these files that we have downloaded. So we'll create another cache volume operation instance. So in this process, we are going to evict all the data that we have downloaded, and in the events, we can see that now the eviction operation is completed successfully. So we'll go ahead in our application pod and make sure that all files that we downloaded are deleted. Here we can see that all file data is evicted. Now we'll go ahead and we'll delete the project. We are going to delete our AFM cache volume project.